Hello, welcome to Mahia Reads. My name is Kiersten Michelle. I am a YA fantasy author and complete and total bookworm. Yeah. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the books that I love to reread. I'm also going to mention a few that I haven't actually reread yet, but I already want to reread them again, and they're probably going to get reread multiple times. So these are books that I just don't think they're enough the first time. And there's a lot of books I've reread. I'm not going to mention my obsession with rereading the Harry Potter books, or the Oberlin books, or the Uglies. Those are, yeah, I reread those a lot. But these are more books that I just truly don't think you get enough the first time. I need more. The first ones I'm going to talk about are, well, they're not a duology, but they are the two of the series that are published right now, and that is A Prayer for the Crown Shy and A Psalm for the Wild Built, and I just read those in the wrong order. It's this one and then this one. And these are by Becky Chambers. I adore these books, and I feel like these are books that I can just read. I can pick up, read a little bit, put it down, come back a couple weeks later, read more, and I just feel soaked in the world and the magic. And it's not really magic, but it just, the world feels magical. And it is solar punk, I think is what they call it, but it is this futuristic world where things are just better in terms of technology is no longer killing the earth. Everything they use now is very green, very based around what is actually good for the planet. It's not on Earth, it's on a different planet. And it is about a monk who serves tea and listens to people as they complain and helps them, and that's their job. And they just wander around this planet helping people with tea, and they end up meeting a robot. So yeah, I love this series. I just think it has some really beautiful quotes in it, some really interesting quotes in it, some just really interesting philosophy and meaning behind it. And it's also cute at the same time and just really simple to read. It is slow, but it's slow in a way of like, as long as if you love this world, just sink into that slowness because it's beautiful. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about, very different, also sci-fi. Apparently I like sci-fis and rereading sci-fis. But this is Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I don't even know how many times I've reread this one at this point. This is another one. Definitely not a slow burn. What happens? But I just love the quotes from it. There's just so many funny things that happen, philosophical things around humanity and the world and life. It's amazing. I know a lot of people have probably know what this one is about generally, but it is about a man who gets caught up when the Earth is about to be demolished to make way for a universal highway through space. He gets caught up with his friend who turns out to be an alien, and his friend helps him escape. And then it is their adventures of kind of running through the universe because they no longer have this home because Earth is gone, and meeting all of these different aliens. I don't know if you can see, my cat just jumped up. Hi. So yes, very funny. I have the audiobook as well. I also have the original radio show. This is a series, and I have not read the rest of them, and I think maybe that'll be a video at some point because I need to read the rest of them. But I just keep rereading this one instead. So, highly recommend. The next one I'm going to talk about I just reread, and that is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I loved this book, and that will probably not be the last time I reread it. I feel like this is a book that every time I'm in that vibe, it's cozy, even though it's not cozy. It's hard to say that it's cozy because it's about this giant marble museum-like house, and there's tides, and it's cold. But it's cozy. It's so cozy. So I absolutely love it. It is about a person, Piranesi, who is in this house that has tides and weather, and it's about him tracking all of that, and the reader and him are trying to figure out what the heck is going on. At first, the reader is really the only person. He's just like, this is normal. And you're reading it like, this is not normal, sir. Houses don't have tides. There's a problem. Really good book, highly recommend. And yeah, buy it because you're gonna reread it over and over and over again. Next one is another one that I loved the first time, and then I was like, I'm gonna reread it. I need to reread it. And then I reread it and I was like, that's still just as good, and I think I'm gonna reread it again. So that is If We Were Villains by M L Rio. This book, I loved it. A lot of the criticisms of this book have been like, oh, they quote Shakespeare all the time and they just quote Shakespeare at each other. Well, I was in drama in high school and it just feels accurate. I feel like I'm just like, oh, friends. This is what we do. So I love it. It is about these, I think, 6 or 7 friends. It's a small group of friends who are these, I think, the seniors at this academy for acting, and pretty much one of them dies and one of them probably did it. You are actually getting it from the perspective of one of the characters in the future who actually went to jail for it. But it doesn't seem like he is the one that actually did it, or you don't know for sure. So it's him retelling it and you're slowly figuring out what happened, how this guy died. The people in this are not likable particularly, and yet you love them. It is just so beautifully written in terms of just the complexity of the characters, I think. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I've already read it twice and I'm probably gonna keep reading it. I also own 2 editions of it, so. Okay, another one that I've read it twice now, and I think it's just gonna be one of those books that I pick up every time I'm in the mood, just because I love it. And that, of course, is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. It's a book about the apocalypse. I mean, you can't get cozier than that, right? But yeah, I know it sounds weird, but if you don't know, this is actually a very cute, funny, warm, cozy book about Antichrist and the apocalypse. And it is about an angel and a demon working together to try to stop the apocalypse because they realize they're having fun on Earth and they don't want that to end. So it's not a very good angel and it's not a very good demon, and they work together to help each other. It is a series on Prime now. They even came out with a 2nd season, which is not based on the book, I assume, because this first season ends here. But if you have not read this book, do it. It is so funny. It is a funny book and it's cozy and I love the vibes. And of course, I cannot talk about books that I've reread a million times without mentioning Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. This is a controversial opinion, but I love this book and I think it is very rereadable. I think, especially if you are okay, once again, I think this is just my weird thing, is I love sinking into books that are slow, but you're just in that world and you can just sit on the couch and just be there. And yes, these books tend to take a little bit longer to read, but I love that. I love being in a book that really sucks me in and I feel like I am in France, I am in Britain, I am in the jail. It's not fun. So I really love this book and I have read it multiple times and I'm going to continue to reread it. And also, I am looking for pretty editions of this book. If anyone has an idea of what pretty editions there are of this book, please tell me, because I want more editions. Okay, and the books that I have not reread yet, but I plan on rereading, and I have a feeling they're not going to be the last rereads I do. The first one is Strange the Dreamer, and of course Muse of Nightmares, the second one. This duology blew me away. I had heard good things about it, but I didn't know what to expect going in. But my god, this duology rips your heart out, stomps on it, wraps it up in a giant warm hug, gives it back to you, smacks you over the face again. I wouldn't call it cozy. The world, the characters, the love story, the relationships, the family dynamics is just so beautiful. And I have not reread it because it is a longer book, and I know if I reread the first one, I'm gonna have to reread the second one immediately. And I just have a lot of other things on my TBR. But I am so excited to reread this book because when I ended this series of the duology, I was so sad to leave that world. I didn't want to leave the characters, I didn't want to leave it. So I want to go back. Okay, another one that I want to reread this book, and at the same time, I'm like, it was so painful to read the first time. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it. And so that is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alix E. Harrow. This book made me so angry in the best way. If you want to know a writer who will make you truly feel like, how the heck are the characters going to get out of this? I need to kill this other person. Burn them to the ground. Why are they doing this to the poor main character? Read Alix E. Harrow. I really love this book though, and the world was just so unique. It is more of a, I'm gonna probably get the time period wrong, but it feels very Victorian style world, but then it's also a fantasy and a portal fantasy. And it's just so creative. The other worlds are so creative, and it has some really beautiful quotes, like the fact that cats are the same in every world, every universe, and they just slip in and out of the doors constantly. I love it. It's so true. If there's other universes, cats are totally just slipping in and out whenever they want. I really am excited to reread it, but I'm like, am I ready to be that angry again? I don't know. That is it though, in terms of books that I love rereading. It's probably not a comprehensive list, but let me know what books that you love rereading. Like, what books are the books that you can't get enough of the world, even though you know the story by heart? If you like this video, feel free to subscribe to our channel and you can listen to us talk about more books that we're obsessed with. Anyways, thanks.